learning target was for this first section. Look back at your page 11A.
I can simplify radicals.
I can simplify radicals. Good. Take a point, Will.
So I was looking at the other one.
Well, you were. Now, who can remember what this top line is called right here?
Vinculum. Vinculum.
Vinculum. Take a point. Stop. Breathe. It's okay. Can anybody tell me what the number under the radical is called?
Nominal.
Radicand. Yes. Good. Natalie, take a point. Now, how do we know what the index is of a radical? How do we know what the index is?
Whatever I'm going for.
You start doing some math.
This number right here is the index. If there's not a number here, it's 2. Good. Breathe. Take a point and breathe. Oh my gosh. Alright, so remember, when our index is 2, we need 2 of the same number that divides into the radicand. Now, when the index is 2, we use perfect squares, correct?
Yeah.
So, who can tell me what the biggest perfect... Now, if you guys say counting numbers, there's a strong chance I'm going to lose it. So, pick from the green column. What of the green column goes into that? 4. 4 is an enemy. An enemy does not divide into 40.
4.
Alright, and it's 4 times what?
Yeah.
Yes, good. Take a point, Jorge. Does everybody see where we got 10 from? You did 40 divided by 4, and we got 10. Now remember, we need 2 of the same number. So what does 4 break down into? 2 and 2. Do we have 2 of the same number? So what goes outside? And what stays inside to read Harry Potter? 10.
I was going to say, I don't think I'll forget that Harry Potter.
Good. Does everybody understand? We did that for 2 days now? Okay. Now, when it's a cube root, you need how many of the same number? 3. Good. Gryffindor and Slytherin, take a point. You need 3 of the same number. So, we won't use perfect squares this time, but let's look at 75. We read that as the cubed root of 75. Can anybody tell me any number they know that goes into 75? 25. Sorry, I heard him before I heard y'all. So everybody please take your calculators and do 75 divided by 25. Breathe. And tell me what you get. 3. Alright, now, how many of the same number do we need to get?
3.
Do we have 3 of the same number yet? What can we break 25 down into? 5 and 5. Can we break any of those down anymore?
No.
So do we have 3 of the same number?
No.
I just have 5 and 5.
Where's 25?
We broke it down into 5 and 5. Why are you yelling? Okay. So since you can't break it down, leave it. Bum bum bum. Nope, because you can't.
No.
Did we find 3 of the same number?
No.
So we can't do it. Because you can't break down 5 anymore, can you? And you can't break down 3 anymore, so it stays like that. Alright, let's look at 40. What number do we know goes into 40?
10.
4 and 10.
So when you can't break it down anymore.
No more.
You can't break it down anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Does it stay like that?
Yes. Alright, so we have 4 and 10. What do we break 4 down into?
2.
2 and 2. But we need 3 of the same number. So can we break 10 down into what? And now you have 3 of the same number. 1, 2, 3. What goes outside to play? 2. What stays inside to read Harry Potter? And do we need to bring this 3 down? Yes, every time. Do not write that 2 in the mullet. The 3 goes in the mullet. Does everybody understand? No, we don't get a point just for saying yes. No. Alright, let's look at 16. What number 4 goes into 16? Okay. What? Do we have 3 of the same number yet? No. But what can 4 be broken down into? 2 and 2. Do we need to break this one down? Yes. Now, we have 1, 2, 3. So what does it do? It goes outside. What stays inside to read Harry Potter?
16.
2.
2.
And you bring down your 3.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
I don't understand what you're confused on because you're just muttering. So, can you put it into words?
I understand. Never mind.
Are you sure? Okay, what part don't you understand?
Break the 3 down in the bullet.
That's part of our problem.
Oh, I never done that. Okay.
Are you better now?
Uh-huh.
Danuvia, do you have a question? Okay, shh. Let's turn it over. Alright, so what tells you how many times you have to divide? What part of the problem? The index. Good, Natalie, take a point. So the index tells you... Okay, y'all got to stop that crinkling. Y'all got to stop. The index tells you how many of the same number you need in your factor tree. That's what those little things are called that we're breaking down. These are called factor trees because we're dividing and getting our multiples. Does everybody understand?
Yeah.
You've heard of that before since like the 3rd grade. Now, for the 5th root of 90, that's how you say that, how many of the same number do you need? You need 5 of the same number. Good. Take a point, Bryn. Now, can anybody tell? Let's see if we can break down 90. We need 5 of the same number. So, Reggie, can you tell me, you want to go use 3? 3 times what?
No. Yes.
3 times 30. Can we break 30 down?
Yeah.
Into what? 3 and 10. Now, we need 5 of the same number. Are we going to be able to break 10 down into 5 of the same number?
No.
Or 3 down?
No.
So what do we do?
Right, same problem.
Boom, we leave it. If you can't break it down, leave it. Now, I went crazy this morning when I was writing this. But what if there, T-H-E-R-E, not T-H-E-I-R. I do know how to spell, and I do know proper English, and that's going to drive me insane. So please fix it on your paper. T-H-E-R-E. I know. Pardon? Can anybody tell me the difference between there and there?
One of them like people's. One of them means like a place.
So, like, you guys over there is a place, but their paper is your paper, right?
Right.
What don't you understand about that?
I usually both put the same.
And that's not correct. And this is why we are where we are. All right. But what if you got a what? Oh, okay. I'm sure, Pumpkin. All right, but what if there is a coefficient? What is a coefficient?
Same.
What's a coefficient?
Like
Kind of, but what's the coefficient?
uh,
If I had 2x and 3x, those are like terms,
Oh.
right? But what are the coefficients of those? The numbers. Coefficients are the numbers out front. Okay? So what you do is you cover this 4 up and you break it down like normal. So pretend it's not there and let's just break 12 down. Now, Since it's an index of 2, we use perfect squares. What is the biggest perfect square that goes into 12? 4 and? Fantastic. Does everybody see where we got that from? Okay. Now, what does 4 get broken down into? So what would go outside? 2. But what else is out there? And what stays inside to read Harry Potter? 3. Now, then it says, it is, because then it says, then multiply, 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 multiply. The coefficient by the number that goes outside. So what's 2 times 4? And then it's root 3. Now, did I put that 8 in the mullet?
No.
No. Do not put the 8 in the mullet. Does everybody understand? What number is in the mullet? No. 2. 2 is the understood number in the mullet. If it's not there, it's 2. Do you guys want to practice another one like this? I feel like we need to. Alright, so I'm going to write this. How much room y'all got? We're going to write it on the corner right here. We're going to say 6 times the square root of 18. Oh, thank you. 6 times the square root of 18.
Highest number is 9.
Alright, so I want you to break 18 down without me. Danubia, Ronaldo. We have a new problem on the board. Okay. See, again. What did you break 18 down into?
9.
Okay, and what did you break 9 down into? And then did you bring that 3 out front? And did you multiply it? And you got 18 root 3.
No.
Ah, gracias. 18 root 2.
Yep.
Good. Both of you take a point. No. What does it say we do? Then we what? Then we multiply the coefficient by the number that goes outside, right? So we take this 3 and we multiply it by 6. What's 3 times 6?
18.
That's where it went.
Oh, so when you break it down, you just see what you can break it down and then you multiply the number, you can write. Oh, see you said that easy.
I did. And it's even on your paper. I wrote it and I said it.
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay, go team. Did everybody get 18 root 2? Do we need to do another one?
No.
Yes? Uno más?
No.
Alright, uno más.
Kid, kailangan él.
You're fine.
Por eso no quiero hacerla.
Squeeze it. Put it right here. Can you put it right here?
No.
No, I can't write that small.
Well, put it somewhere on your paper.
No cabe.
Sí cabe, maestra.
Okay, sí cabe.
Ahí le caben 3 más.
Aquí.
Not tres más. Alright, do 5 times the square root of 20.
La más difícil.
Highest number is 5. Oh, those will be odd numbers though.
No, they're not.
5 and 4?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Good job. Are you going to attach all that to your paper, or are you just chilling? Okay.
But can you multiply the coefficients?
Isn't that what it says? Isn't that what it says, Tater Tot? Natalie, isn't that what it says to do? Okay. Yes, very good job. Ten root 5. Yes, no, maybe so.
Okay.
Fantastic. Ready? Turn the paper over.
Turn the paper, oh.
Tarea.
No,
Turn the paper, oh.
no. Well, you will have homework, but this isn't homework.
I'll make you.
All right.
Mándale.
Okay.
Mándale, ponle tarea.
No, nomás a la
All right. So your learning target for this section is I can simplify radicals with variables. I can simplify radicals with variables. It's super easy. Like super duper easy.
I thought you said next one's gonna be easy than we do shit.
This unit is not that bad. Wasn't exponents easy?
Yes.
And now we're doing this, and this isn't terrible, is it? You just have to think a little bit,
Why can't we just finish this sheet for homework?
because you don't know what to put in there. All right, so you can have variables. Under the, what is this whole thing called?
Radical. I don't know how you say it.
You're welcome. Get it together. Get it together. Thank you so much.
Yeah, like this.
Jorge, I don't need your help.
¿Por qué no?
Porque yo lo digo.
Yo también lo digo porque la necesita.
No, it's not necesita.
Just say
Pensé que hubiera hecho mamacita.
Yes. I know.
What
What?
is the big words?
It goes all the way down.
I'm sorry?
What is the big word on the sheet?
I don't know exactly where.
It's only highlighted in blue.
Radical.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
Now. Yes. No. But I have tissues over here on my desk. Alright, so this is what you do. You take the index. What's the index of this radical right here?
9.
2 is the index. If you said 2, take a point.
Y yo dije,
You did not say 2. Alright, so you divide the 2 into 9. Does anybody know how many times 2 goes into 9?
a ver,
4 times, alright? So then you write x to the 4th. What is happening? What are you doing? What is on your hand? Why?
It was on the desk in my hand there.
Come get a Clorox wipe.
what are you doing? Cleo
Hey, tripping, y'all so.
It's more of how you're handling it that's why people are doing the things that they're doing.
Kids.
Why do you do the things you do?
Okay. Alright, so 2 goes into 9 4 times. How many would be left over?
I keep, no sé.
1.
¿Qué pasó?
Y'all, listen to what I'm asking you. 2 goes into 9 4 times. And that's 2 times 4 is 8. So how many would be left over? 1. And that's what stays inside.
That's it.
That's all you do.
Tell me exactly.
I'm not playing with you.
That's really it.
Hey,
Hey, Miss Edmund, can you stand again?
I am. I'm going to. Alright, so what you do is you divide the index into the exponent. So you can you stop? I'm trying to teach. 2 goes into 9 4 times. So we bring x to the 4th outside. There's 1 left over because 2 times 4 is 8, and 9 minus 8 is... Dun, 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 dun. Anything left stays inside to what? What do they do when they're staying inside?
They read Harry Potter.
Take a point.
I already would.
Look at you go. Now, there is another way that you can do it. If you can't divide easily, there's another way. You break x to the 9th down into 9 x's. Okay? So let's write 9 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stop.
You confused me right
Awesome. All right. Now, what's our index?
Two.
It was 2. So we're going to group them by 2's. Okay? So that means we have 1 group of 2, 2 groups of 2. Keep talking while I'm teaching, and you'll be out of my class with 1 left over. How many groups do we have right here?
4.
And that's why we wrote x to the 4th. How many's left over? 1. And that stays inside to read Harry Potter. I know, but if you can't divide easily, if it doesn't make sense, you can do it visually. So I'm showing you 2 different ways. I'm telling you, baby. You ready to practice? What if... Turn it over.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, see? What if the index isn't 2? So, what would you do?
You think you would do it, but no.
You would still do the same thing, right? Alright, so if the index isn't 2, you do the same thing. Divide the index into the exponent, or break down the variable, then group. So, let's look at our 5. Who can tell me how many times 5 goes into 7?
1.
And how many would be left over?
1.
Dos. 2. Good. Now, do we need to bring this 5 down into our mullet?
No.
Yes. Always bring it down. Does everybody see what I did? Now, let's walk through it again, just to make sure. 5 goes into 7 1 time with 2 left over. Now, if you need to draw it out, let's draw 7 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, we're putting them in groups of what?
5.
Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 1 group of 5 with 2 left over. Good. Alright, ready to do this one? Can you try this one without me? Try it without me. I'm proud of you. Do the whole thing, write it down, I'll come check it.
I did.
Okay, Pumpkin, you gotta give me a second to get over there.
Okay,
Right. So, I feel like everybody did the right thing, but 3 goes into 10 3 times, right? So you had b cubed. Then you should have a 3 here, and then a b left over. Did you get that? Take a point.
Why did you have to put another B?
Pardon?
Why did you have to put another B?
I didn't. Oh, okay, the variable is b.
What about
It's not x. That's why.
So why are they B1 and B1?
You don't have to write the 1.
So that's how we got it wrong.
No. Okay, so do you see how you didn't have this cube right here?
Oh, yeah, B.
So you had the cube on the b, but you didn't have the 3 in the index. So you have to write both of those.
I did.
Be careful that you bring this down every time. Did anybody draw out their b's?
I did.
Good. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we're grouping them into what?
3.
3. So you draw a box around this. So that's 1. Draw a box around this. That's 2.
And there will be 1 left.
So there's 3 here, and then 1 left over.
So after right, it's just
You just didn't have your index right here. And then you put an X instead of a B. Yes.
I would leave it at B.
which V up? This V? The one inside the box?
It's like a placeholder for the one.
This one? Because there's one left over. We only have enough to make 3 groups, and then one's left over, so he reads Harry Potter. Alright, let's look at this guy. Now, you can break it into 9 A's and 15 B's. Or, let me show you. Go ahead and draw your radical, and put 7 in the mullet. Alright, now 7 goes into 9 how many times? Once. Leave some space here. With how many left over?
1.
2. Okay, does everybody see what I did? 7 goes into 9 one time with 2 left over. Now let's look at our B. 7 goes into 15 2 times with 1 left over. Dun, 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 dun. Does everybody see? You don't understand? Alright, so what you're going to get for homework tonight is a maze.
A maze? Fun.
So that means that each of you are going to do different things. Take one and pass, Bryn. Come on, baby. You're taking 97 years. Take one and pass. So everybody should start where it says start. Okay? Now, mine is a cube group, so I would need 3 of the same number, right? Can I see yours? Jorge's is a square root, so he would need the biggest perfect square. Hi, thank you.
I'm confused on mine.
So everybody starts in a different part. You do what it tells you based on where you start. Does everybody understand?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
let's take a moment and start working on it so that we can walk around and help you, because inevitably you're going to say, I don't know how to do this.